Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome to the fun Thursday tea time chat. I'm delighted that we've got Jez and we've got Kenny. And this time next week, gentlemen, it'll be like Christmas Day and more or less gone. I mean, where's the year gone? But it's moving on, and the Arsenal fixtures are coming thick and fast. We've got the festive period coming up. Jez, how you doing, my friend? You okay?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, very good, man. And I'm all slick, head shaved.
All ready for Christmas?
No, for tomorrow. Big day out tomorrow in London.
Oh,
the old boys.
Oh,
Up. We're meeting up at Arsenal Tube, midday, 12 p.m. and 12 a.m., 12 p.m., whatever you want to call it. And then we're going down Borough Market, Kenny and DJ. We're going down there like we did 2 years ago. We didn't do one last year. We have a right old giggle tomorrow, have a run around, and yeah, looking forward to it, man.
are you going to get to watch the Everton game
Tomorrow?
Is it a Friday, Saturday thing, or just a Friday thing?
No, it's only tomorrow. No, it's only tomorrow, mate. No.
Right, you watch the Everton game at home then, innit?
Now I'm going to stagger back down to London Bridge and fall asleep on the train and end up in Portsmouth. So there you go. Done it before, mate. I've done it before.
Well, stay there for the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Portsmouth.
Next February. Yeah, lovely.
Jeez. But big up everyone in the chat. We've got the usual ones in the chat. Gavin Aces, Waha, Kawaja as always. Lux is in as well. So big up to everyone that's in. Kenny, how's your day been, mate? Are you all sorted for Christmas or your Christmas holidays if you don't celebrate it? But how you doing, my friend? All right?
Well, think about it. I think what it is that when you're younger, you only want Christmas because you look forward to two things, as Jez will testify: the football,
Yeah.
But the football fixtures. When you're younger, you don't have to. You live around the corner. You look forward to Boxing Day and New Year's Day, with another game sandwiches on the 27th. But when you get and Christmas just for food. But obviously, when you have a family, get married and everything. Yeah. And you realise how much Christmas means to them, you just kind of participate. But one thing I will say is that, bloody hell, the draw yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to get into it.
Chelsea again. God, couldn't they give us something more exciting, like Man City away? Or
I don't know. We're going to talk about this Carabao Cup show. We've got to touch on Everton, but I was going to bring this up. Aces, big up. You beat me to it, but we was going to bring it up before we get into the football. Apparently, Timber is set to sign a new contract, as many are. I've got a couple of theories on this. I'm not a great believer in. Well, it's brilliant that they've got a contract because they're tied to the club, and we can set the agenda when if they want to move on. But nowadays, contracts don't mean nothing to players, do they? They're just pieces of paper. If they want to move on, they want to move on. But Timber signing a new contract, Jez, that's positive, isn't it? That's positive news.
Yeah, I'm happy about it, mate, be honest, because I think he's a great player. After his horrendous start when he joined Arsenal and he was out for a season, let's be fair. I'm glad about it, mate. I'm glad it's positive. But I don't know what the wage is going to be because we always seem to be the Arsenal team that, or club, may I say, that we want to re-sign a player and then give him a stupid wage. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I don't know if you know. Kenny might know. I don't know.
It will come out sooner or later, no doubt, Jez. But
I don't know what he's on currently, but we always seem to do this stupid thing of offering big silly money, and then we can't. When it all goes tits up, we can't get rid of them because they're on stupid money. So I don't know. But no, on the positive side of things, yes, it's a good signing. It's a good signing, or a good re-signing of his new contract. I think he's a quality player. If he can avoid injury, which obviously he hasn't, then it's good. It's all good news. It's all good news, man.
No, I think it is. Kenny, I mean, to replace a right back of that calibre, they're just not around, are they? And then you've got to pay astronomical prices to
This is good news, isn't it?
Hello.
Yeah, go on, Kenny. We can hear you loud and clear, my friend.
And I think you lost a bit of sound for just a slight second.
Oh right, I was sorry, mate. I don't know what happened there, but the timber, it's good news, isn't it, Kenny? Because
It's fantastic news because, to be honest, I know it's an awful thing to say. There's very few top class players out there, very few world class players out there. I think we exaggerate when we talk about world class talent in any leagues, especially our league, and that goes for some of our players. But when you've got someone who's a genuine in talent, who's irreplaceable in that position, you know, it's a good thing we tied him down. And I think what it is that he's earned the right, you know, because
100%.
that position at right back, without him there, we're very we'll struggle. You know what I mean? Him and Gabriel Magalhaes, they're the glue that, you know, keeps that defence together. Obviously, Calafiori's done a good season. Saliba, people say generational as a defender, but, you know, let's just say Timber and Gabriel Magalhaes make Saliba look good, and they make our good friend Calafiori look good. So yeah, I'm really ecstatic that he signs. But you know what? We better make sure that now we've got these players that we start winning things, because at the end of the day, what will happen is that these players are going to go to the World Cup, you know, play for their countries, and they're going to think, you know what, the grass is greener.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the worry, isn't it? That's the worry. This is why it's so important that we do win trophies, because these players are signing the contracts. They're keeping their faith in the football club. Whether they're keeping their faith in the manager, that remains to be seen, but it looks like they want to play for him, which is a good thing. Obviously, wages does have an effect. I think Timber's current wage salary is about 90 grand, which is way below when you look at the Salibas and Gabriel's and all of that. He's probably going to get a hefty pay rise, because they've realised probably the importance to keep him at the football club. So he'll probably be around about 180 grand a week, I would have thought. He's probably doubled his wages, I would have thought. But yeah, no, I mean, this is what I'm saying. We've got to keep our best players at the football club as much as we can. The only problem is, Jez, as history shows, when it comes to selling players at Arsenal, it's absolutely appalling the money we get from, isn't it? I mean, that's something that's got to improve, isn't it, really? You know what I mean? I can't remember the last player. Who was it? Forget his name now. One that went to Liverpool. I think it's our biggest sell, wasn't it? You know what I mean? I mean, we just got to get more for the players when we sell them, haven't we?
Oxlade-Chamberlain, wasn't it?
Oxlade-Chamberlain, that's it. Yeah.
I think the problem is, mate, this is what I said a little while just when you talked about this thing. We bring these players in. Sorry, we re-sign or give them new contracts, whatever the term is, right? And we up the wages big, and then we can't offload them, because then all of a sudden, when it's time for the player to go, nobody wants them because we're paying silly money. Look, we've seen it in history. Ozil, right? Stupid money. Stupid. Gave him a new contract on stupid money. And that, I think, may well have changed. I don't know. We're going to find out in the next couple of days, probably next week, what Timber's new contract and what he's going to get a week. I think it might be different now. Different structure with Berta.
Yeah.
Right. He's a little bit more astute. I think maybe he's like going to say, okay, we're going to sign you back, give you a new contract, 3-year contract, maybe, we don't know, and we'll give you 120,000 a week. I think that's right. I think that's fair. But we're not going to hopefully we haven't done the double and gone like 180 grand, because at the end of the day, that always is the problem of we can't offload players. And that's where we go wrong. And I think with Berta here now, he's a little bit more cute, very cute, in fact. And he's going to say, right, okay, we'll sign you, mate. We'll give you a new contract, but 120 grand a week. I don't know. We will see. We'll see.
Yeah, no, that's fair point. That's fair point. I mean, for me, Bert has been one of the signings of the century at Arsenal, to be honest, Kenny, because the buying and selling and contracts has been a bit of a mess at the football club, and it over the years. You know, we've let players go for nothing. We've let players go for free. Hopefully now with these players signing contracts, we're going to have a little bit more kind of hold over them. You want our player? 80 million. You want our player? 120 million. That's the sort of circle we've got to get in, Kenny, isn't it?
Well, first and foremost, I totally agree with you, but I think the problem is with Arsenal is that players only have value if they're in a shop window. You know, just selling them, putting them up for sale doesn't mean they're in a shop window. You know, managers and potential suitors have to see him play. You know what I mean? So, for instance, if you're trying to, you know, don't get me wrong, we did well, you know, getting money for Smith Rowe, getting money for Eddie, getting money for Reece, because they all ever played.
No,
I mean, I suppose Eddie, he was more in the shop window than Smith Rowe towards the end. But you know, but to a certain extent, I think what Arsenal will do, especially with their big assets, is that you'll get big money for Timber, you get big money for Saliba, Gabriel, all those guys, because they've had to play a lot of the games and they're coveted. They'll be coveted by other clubs, and you know we can protect ourselves by recouping the money for these players. Saka's, you know, although he's unsellable, every player's got their price. Unfortunately, that's how football works. You know, clubs only make money through TV and selling players and getting money, selling assets and moving them on. So, but Bert's going to be very, very important in this. But I think what we're seeing now with is we're seeing phase 3 of his job. You know, we've seen the buying, we've seen the selling, now we're seeing the contract negotiations, and you know, getting Timber on a big contract. That's important. That's integral, because at the end of the day, that's differentiation. But when players sign contracts, they need to know what the manager's going to do.
Yeah,
and, you know,
absolutely. That's a good point, Kenny. Really good point. Because do you think they've seen? Me and Matty keep saying it all the time. I think they've seen the long term. I think they've sort of signed, knowing that if this manager goes, there's a plan B. Do you think Bert has kind of said to him, look, this is what the future's going to look like? You know,
well, I think they'll talk to the manager. They'll talk to Mikel. They'll talk to Mikel. Then they'll want assurances from Mick. You know what Mikel wants to do. Yeah. And then they'll talk about it. I think that's the thing, because I think nowadays, I don't know whether they've got a close relationship with Mikel, but one thing about our players, and that's one of the reasons why I say Unai Emery would do well here. We'll do well here now. Fast forward 2025, is that we don't have big time Charlies. Our players are sponges. They obey their managers, and I think just look at Villa, how they obey Unai Emery. So I think a lot of the players will think they are Arteta a lot. They think that he would, make them better players. So I think that it's conditional that he stays. Whatever, we don't know what happened this season. We don't win anything. It could be different. But even if they feel they want to leave because Mikel's leaving, the fact we've got them on long-term contracts means they'll be leaving on our terms, not theirs.
That's the key. That is the key, and we set the price. Yeah, good. No, Jez, what's your opinion on it? Do you think the players are signing because of the manager, or do you think they're signing because they're happy with where they are at the club, and obviously the wages has a lot to do with it? Do you think Arteta's a big influence, or do you think Bert is the influence, and he's sort of said to him, look, this is what it's like at the moment. If this manager don't win any silverware, this is what's in the pipeline. Do you think they've seen the bigger picture, or do you think they're signing because of Arteta?
They're not signing because of Arteta, right? They're comfortable. They're very comfortable in this position they are, right? Because at the end of the day, Arsenal offer big money, and we've seen it in history, offer big money for players that really shouldn't command the money. So no, I don't agree with the fact that it's because of Arteta. Sorry to the Arteta sexuals.
That does seem to be the narrative, though, Jez, doesn't it? Oh, it's because of the manager. You know, they want to play for him.
Look, let's be honest. He don't attract world-class players. If you can tell me one world-class player currently in our club, then I'll say, fair enough. Fair enough. I get it. But we haven't got a world-class player. I hear people telling me Saka's world-class. No, he ain't. No, he's not. He's not the level. No, he ain't. Sorry. We've had world-class players in the past, which were different levels. When you want to talk about world-class players, when you can talk about the likes of Bergkamp, Pires, Henry, Vieira, no, it's a different story. But let's move that out of the way. It's not because of him. It's because they're comfortable. And that, to me, is a problem, because at the end of the day, you should never be comfortable. You should all be looking over your shoulder to say who's coming up behind me. Who's going to take my job?
This is it.
Who's going to take my position?
Yeah.
Right? And we don't have that. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. We don't have that.
No, you do.
We've brought players in, before I shut up, right? Berta has brought players in to actually try and mix it up. But what we've got with this manager, he don't do it. He don't use it. He doesn't use the fact that he can actually mix it up. And that's where his biggest failure is, to me. If he was be able to actually do that, then I'd give him much more respect. It's not personal. I don't know the man, right? I don't have hate on him, right? It's just I don't think he's good enough. And the problem is, DJ, the players are too comfortable. It's an easy ride at Arsenal. It's all the get-along gang. Oh, yeah. I'm on 180 grand. I'm on 200 grand, 250, 300, whatever. Yeah. Nobody's challenging me. Get on with it. Nah, sorry, mate. It's not the manager.
Yeah, no, you got good points there, Jez. I mean, I've always said that, you know, when they talk about squad depth and you know, best squad in years and stuff like that, I still don't think there's anyone challenging real positions. I don't think there's anyone outstanding that's going to challenge Saka's position and dislodge him. Elise would have done. We thought Eze would challenge Odegaard, but he seems to be kind of in and out now, Kenny, doesn't he? The right back there is Timber's own. There's no one really can step in Timber's shoes. So Jez has got a bit of a point there, hasn't he? Before you come in, Jez, let's get this super chat. SGNG5 up. Big up to you, my friend. Absolute wonderful. Thank you very much indeed for your super chat. And I know you support the channels. Thank you very much. Big up DJB and Jez and Kenny. It doesn't get better than this. 2, 3 absolute legends, and chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Exactly, guys. Exactly. You know, we're probably the oldest. We're probably the oldest on the circuit, aren't we, boys?
Yeah, we've got to be.
I think we are.
But
Nomski's in our bracket. Yeah, Nomski's in our bracket. Who said I was going to say Shane? Of course he ain't. I've met Shane. He's a lot younger than what we are. Kenny, is it comfortable? Has he got a point? Has Jez got a point there, Kenny? Is there
it is comfortable. You know, Mikel's made it very comfortable because he's made it abundantly clear that you know, he has a group of players where tactically he trusts them. It's very difficult for new players to, you know, break that spine. You know, and that's why sometimes some players get overplayed. You know, there's players who know they're going to play every game. Saka knows he's going to play every game. Ray is a goalkeeper and he's not much better than him. You know, Timber probably now knows he's going to play every game. Saliba and Gabriel know they can play every game. Declan knows. You know, Calafiori knows now. Zubimendi. The only places where there's doubts is probably up top on the left wing.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Like Martinelli isn't sure he's going to play every game. You know, and he knows that the manager feels there's an upgrade in his position. Up top with Gyökeres, whether, you know, it's caused a lot. I think a lot of the you know, like the, you know, divisions and bad blood has actually been caused by opinions on Victor. You know, there's a school of thought to say Victor's not good enough, school of thought thinking he's not giving enough support, and there's a school of thought that why did the manager buy him in the first place? And I think that the situation is that those guys, I'll say it, Everton as well. We've paid a lot of money for them to actually make us a better side. Yet, what's happened is that they flattered to disease. Whether it's the manager's fault or not, I think that, well, it is to a certain extent, because the manager won't change and won't change things to, get the best out of them. That these guys have to adapt to the way we do things, not the way they meant. So they're going to have to work their nuts off to, knock on that door and get the managers to notice them. But it's not easy. Not easy when you're not part of that spine that he relies on 100% and other plays.
No, it's frustrating. Big up Northside for the raid. I did notice it, Kawaja, but thank you for reminding me. Big up Northside for the raid. Absolute 100% total legend. Make sure that you go and sub to Northside if you haven't, which you probably have already. You've raided over. There's some good points here, though. I mean, this one's a good one here. So the same as Chelsea. Good first team, team B. The only difference is they rotate a lot and we will get done on injuries. There's a good point there, isn't it? They've got a lot to choose from, and they do seem to rotate quite a bit, Jez, don't they, Chelsea? And rotation's very key, isn't it? Especially we're going to get on to the Carabao Cup. I just wanted to talk about timber and players and contracts and all that. I think it was very poignant at the time. But they do a lot of clubs seem to rotate better. Is that because of the squad depth, or is it because they're sort of second string is more trusted?
Well, that's a funny point, actually, because when you started talking about that, I immediately went to the comment last season. Arteta said he wanted a bigger squad. Previous seasons, he said he didn't want a big squad. Now he wanted a bigger squad. Okay, you got the bigger squad. Right, fair play, well done. You've got what you wanted, but you still can't get it over the line yet. Now, this is a point for debate here right now. Right, he wanted this bigger squad, but he keeps overplaying the same players that are injured.
He picks the same spine, doesn't he, all the time? Yeah,
all the time. It's the same format. Now, I had this debate the other night with a certain person, and this guy said to me, Pep Guardiola only has one system. I said, no, he doesn't. All the time he's been at Man City, he's probably played about 20 different setups. And I can name a few of them, and I did. And he would, no, you're wrong. And I said, no, I don't think I am. The thing is with Arteta, it's the same old, right? 4-3-3, 4-3-3, 4-3-3. Why don't you ever change it? Why don't you ever change it to a 4-4-2? Mix it up a little bit. Strengthen that midfield in games where teams are actually going to come across to you. Now, he's got the squad. He wanted a bigger squad. He's got them. He's got it. Right, but let's be at the end of the day. He brought in players last season, right, who progressed into the first team. And what's happened to them? Where they gone? They don't play no more. Enwary appears occasionally.
Right? Oh, Enwary's are just Skelly now as well, Jez, isn't it?
Yeah. So what's going on here? So that says to me, this manager, right, gives it all the mouth and asks for what he wants. He got what he wanted. He's been delivered, right? There you go. You've got the players now. You've got the bigger squad. Then rotate. There's no reason why he can't rotate. No, because he has to play Saka. He has to play. We all called it. Kenny, you said it. DJ, you said it. Lee Gunner said it. Right, all of us said it. As soon as Odegaard came back, we all said he'll be shoehorned into the side. And let's make a point on this one, gents, before I shut up. What has happened since Odegaard come back in that team? We've lost, right? Stroked a draw and scraped a win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. What else do I need to say? The man slows the game down, sideways, backwards, right? Without him in the team, we were a far better attacking team. The man is not good enough. Sorry, I don't care what anybody loves about Odegaard. He is not good enough. He should not be the captain. Anyway, shut up on that.
No, well, we brought up Odegaard's stats yesterday on the mingle, and they're quite alarming, to be honest with you. But I mean, I've started one here, Kenny, because you said this. Now, I'm all for rotation in certain games, 100%. I understand that there's certain games that you can't rotate, but you said this before, and big up Tatty Ginger. I think Saka would be great in the 10. What do you three think, Kenny? Give your, because we can mix it a little bit. This is before you come in. The most Kenny, but the most frustrating thing for me, and a lot in the chat as well, is that I thought that when he got this big squad, he was going to try different things. He was going to try and switch the wings and try and switch Saka. And we've seen it in certain games when he put Saka on the left and Madueke on the right. And I thought, oh, this is good. He's going to try something different. But he's still not doing that, is he? And teams are finding us out, Kenny, aren't they? Well, what are you saying on that, my friend?
Well, the thing is that it's Saka's team. So if anyone's going to get any sort of leeway, it's only going to be him. You know, if we want to get the best out of our team, we've got to get the best out of him. You know, a lot of people mistakenly thought that when Gyökeres came here, he'd be taking the penalties. I had my legs in here laughing. I went, nothing's changed just because we bought Gyökeres and Eze. It's still Saka's team. You know, West Ham, you know, give Gyökeres a penalty. No, it's Saka's penalty taker. He's the main man. That's where it's going. So we're struggling, you know, with penetrating teams. Our go output has slowed down considerably recently. So the best thing to do is try and unlock Saka. And everyone would like us to do that with Eze, like to do it, especially with Gyökeres. But Saka is the guy that can shoot us to this title, shoot us to the League Cup, shoot us to the FA Cup, and shoot us to the European Cup, which a lot of people really, really want. If we don't get the best out of him, we're going nowhere. If that means moving into the false number 9, which I feel strongly he could do a fantastic job there, or playing, you know, like I said, another 10 role where I think he'd do a fantastic job because he's got pace. He's direct as well. I just think I think where he plays now restricts him. And I always say, the better players.
Teams have found him out, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. But you know, the better players who start off on the flanks, to get the best out of those players, they have been moved away from the restricted position, which is the flanks. Gareth Bale got moved from the flanks. You know, Messi and Ronaldo got moved from the flanks. Mm-hmm. You know, Giggsy sometimes got moved from the flanks as well. And these are like special players. Is Bukayo Saka's in that category? Well, we're only going to find out if we unlock him and give him a different role. If we play him where he is now, yeah, you'll get the odd number here and there, but you won't free him. Now, the sad thing about that is a B word towards the Gyökeres, because he's struggling, because he ain't finding his way.
No.
And then it's another B word, you know, to the people who think that Gyökeres is the man that will change everything. No, Saka's the man. It's a sad state of affairs, but I do think that Saka, we have to get the best out of Saka. Really do think we have to get best out of Saka.
Yeah, I mean, that's worrying, isn't it? Where he's still building the team around Saka, and this is why Gyökeres is just kind of being pushed by the wayside. I mean,
you think about it. if Gyökeres was in a better position than Saka, but Saka called for the ball, you know, the Saka's getting the ball.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
He's
the plan. It's like the go-to, isn't it? It's the safety net, isn't it? It's the safety net.
Well, you think about it, yeah. Just one more thing. You remember, Jez? You remember that time when Andy Cole first went to Man United and he was struggling with goals.
Yeah.
But Eric Cantona was in the team, and they gave the ball. They passed to Eric rather than to Andy Cole.
Yeah.
Because Eric's the main man.
Yeah. Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah, it is the same situation, but the thing I think, Kenny, is that the way the team is set up, it's all for me, Kenny. Right, it's all too. You look. You guys go to the games. I don't. So you're seeing it live, and you're seeing it in real time, and you see what is actually happening on the park. Right. To me, everything goes down that right wing. There's not enough goes down.
That's been for seasons, yeah.
And it's been like that for forever. I don't see why we can't switch it. Now, if Martinelli or Trossard's there, right? Okay, when Trossard comes on, the game does switch over a bit. But why do we not feed through the middle? Because we always go down that right flank, right? And it's the same old. And every team out there knows how to play against Arsenal going down there. They just crowd us out. Yeah, you'll see two players on Saka, and that's game done, dusted. Yes, occasionally he'll get the his magic legs on, and he'll get that cross in, or that little cheeky little bit of play. Why, Kenny? I want to ask you, Kenny, because like you've watched Arsenal as long as I have, and DJB, so have you, right? Why do we never ever play down that middle?
You know what it is.
Used to, Kenny.
I don't know. You know, your guess is as good as mine. For some reason, but isn't that with football in general? That you're only going to play down the middle if you're 100% sure that if you do lose the ball, that you're not outnumbered in midfield. Where because you're outnumbered, because the ball's moving quickly in another direction, that they're springing an attack. And that's why you always see with Odegaard, is he slowing the game down because he's thinking this pass has to be precise? Because if it's not precise, then what will happen is I'm putting my teammates on a bit of trouble. I'm putting pressure on Declan Rice. I'm putting pressure on Zuma, and in turn, the affects the defence.
Respectfully to you, why can this manager not then say, right, let's go 4-4-2?
I think that's the main. I was just going to say.
I think he'll do it. He won't start like that. I think Mikel won't start like that. But the thing with Mikel, what we noticed with Mikel, when it's the last dice, throwing a dice, he'll do that. Like, remember Newcastle? Because he had all these substitutes, because we were struggling to break him down. All of a sudden, boom, he kept Eze on. I think, he kept Eze on and just threw everyone forward. You know, Marino got Odegaard on, and it was basically a 4-2-4, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's because he needed to equalise that and he wanted to get the winner. So he only does that in game. And that, you know, it's one of the very few times where we thought, oh, bloody hell, this is really good in-game management for Mikel. But it's only because it's the last straw with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them questions, isn't it? Why don't we go down the middle? I mean, most teams now sort of try to get the ball out wide and stuff like that. I think the biggest problem with Arsenal, and I've been saying this for seasons before we eventually get onto the Everton and the Carabao Cup, guys, this is brilliant. I think one of the biggest problems with Arsenal, which I've noticed over the years, is that we don't get runners getting beyond the defenders. We tend to just sit in front. If you look at Aston Villa, they get runners that run beyond the back line. And sometimes they get caught offside, and that's the risk you take. But if you look at like Morgan Rogers and players like this, they tend to run from deep and get behind, and then they switch it with like a little long ball or a little through ball. We don't get that. Our midfielders are very robotic. They tend to play in front of the back in the defenders. And it goes like, we're not getting anyone. The only runners we get, Jez, down the lines that I see with any kind of commitment, and people are going to think I'm mad about this, but Ben White is the only one really that tries to break lines and run beyond to give that overlap and give that option. I don't really see it on a regular basis. Calafiori runs around, he gets a lot of freedom, but he doesn't actually. He runs a lot down dark alleys, but you know that's my view on it anyway.
Well, we used to look. Let's put it on the look. When we had Tierney at left back, he linked up brilliantly with Martinelli.
Yeah.
And and Xhaka, right? That left flank was pretty damn spot on. Now, for some reason, no idea why. I know Tierney got an injury, and that was that's the Arsenal way, isn't it? At the end of the day, they had a pretty good damn link up, good relationship, and Martinelli cut inside because Tierney would overlap.
We had it, didn't we?
Well, Xhaka was cutting into the midfield to deflect, right? Tierney would go down with his pace down that left flank. He'd feed Martinelli. Martinelli scored goals. I'm not seeing that anymore. This is what my point I'm trying to make, right? With the players we've got, and we've got some great players. There's no question about that. The question is to be asked: why do we not play that forward-thinking football? Now, we all know. One of the greatest managers in Arsenal's history was a certain man, Herbert Chapman, who invented the WM system, which most teams still adhere to today. Arteta does not. Arteta does not play that system. Because at the end of the day, when Herbert Chapman said, right, no, I want my wingers to go forward. Because back in the day, right, when he first joined in 27, whenever it was, he said, why are you stopping at the halfway line? Right? And he said, no, I want you to progress forward. I want you to go forward. Right? I want you to overlap my midfield. And, well, we all know the history of the greatness of what Arsenal became. Now, the fact is, I'm not saying that that's the greatest tactic in the world, but it won stuff. This manager doesn't do that. He doesn't let the players progress. And it's that to me, Kenny, you may disagree with me, DJ. Chat.
No, I agree with a lot of what you say. It's not expensive enough it's not expensive enough.
I don't think we explore enough of what we can do. I think it's just hold back. Don't lose the ball. Now, that's great. That's great when you've got players that actually have attractive and the talent to do it. Not being rude, but we don't have that anymore.
No,
right? We haven't got Bergkamp.
Eze's capable of it, Jez, but he's not going to be used in the right way.
No,
Eze ain't going to be used in the right way.
We keep going back to the same old with bloody Odegaard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The same old shit every week, right? I said to you, DJ, and I said to you, Kenny, as soon as he's fit, he'll be shoehorned back in that team.
Yeah, you decided.
And we're paying the price.
Yeah, exactly. And the game slowed down. You can see Eze. I mean, I was watching clips with Eze when he was playing for Palace, and I see him in games, even in the cup final. This geezer was picking the ball up on the halfway line, running at the back four, running beyond defenders. I've not seen him do that. I've not seen him do it, and I don't think we're going to see him do it. And this is the frustrating thing, and this is why the manager is under so much pressure. Because if he's not going to change the way he plays, if he's not going to be expansive enough, and he fails to get over the line, then unfortunately, whether you like it or not, it's time for a change. Simple as that. Because we've got the players, we've got the squad. Use it in the right way. But anyway, guys, we've got Everton coming up. Let's just get these. Let's get a few super chats that have just come in. Big up Martin, big up DJB, and the encyclopedia Kenny Ken and Jez. 100%, my friends, 100%. You know where it's at. Big up to you. Big up SG, 5 up again. Big up, my friend. There is positives in football club, and it's Andre Berta, mate. We've actually signed players for the football club, not for Arteta. Facts, absolute facts. I'm so glad Berta's in situ, and I've been saying this for time, and everyone has. Kenny has, Jez has. We needed someone like that because it couldn't go on the way it was going on it couldn't go on. We needed a sporting director. Whatever you think of him, we needed someone of that ilk at the football club. We just needed it. T-Dot, big up, my friend. I'm with Jez. Team is not that good. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it now. A lot of people are having doubts whether this squad is actually got the depth. We've all been saying it's good. And Dal Howell, hi boys, Merry Christmas for next week. Thank you, my friend. Hope all is well. Quick question: being born in the 90s, what was the best ground to go to when you was in your 20s? What was the best ground in the night during the 90s, Kenny, for you, my friend?
The best round to go to all the time was like the Northern grounds. It's always nice, you know, because of the games we're involved in. Old Trafford was fantastic to go to in my 20s.
Yeah,
love going there, you know, for matches, and not only that, you know, for some reason we had semi-finals there as well.
Yeah,
you know, that's before Wembley. You know, we had a free semi-finals in 2001. That was against Tottenham. That was weird, going up to Manchester, 2 North London clubs. And then obviously you got game against Middlesbrough and then Sheffield United. But yeah, the Northern grounds is a fantastic ground to go to, and obviously Anfield special.
Yeah,
but yeah, Old Trafford because if you won there and played well, it was something because they had the best team in Europe at the time, Man United.
Yeah, it was a special place in the 90s, Old Trafford, because of the team, because of the history of the club, the fans. That it was noisy, it was raucous. It was, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Jez, what's the best away ground you've been to? 90s or 80s, whatever.
It's got to be at Anfield and St James's Park, man. St James's Park.
Yeah, and Anfield 89 was great.
The only reason I say St James's is because it's such a drama. It's such an occasion, right? And like after the game, going into the city centre, right? Yeah, you could wear. Look, that's really funny. You could actually wear your colours to Newcastle. You never.
Great fans, weren't they? Great fans.
Never have any trouble, right?
No.
You have a good old giggle, right? You see the nightlife, right? You see the scenery, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's all good, all good. Anfield to me was always magic. 89 will always take me to my grave, but. Yeah, Old Trafford as well. Can't deny that one. But I'll tell you another ground I thought was great to go to.
I bet I know what you're going to say.
Go on.
Goodison Park?
Yeah, Goodison Park.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Love Goodison.
Yeah.
Love Goodison Park, man. I like Upton Park as well.
Yeah.
Selhurst Park.
Upton Park was good. I like that.
Yeah. Upton Park when they had the
I've been there for football and boxing. But yeah. But football, obviously. Yeah. We had a bit of a tricky record there.
Yeah.
Funny enough, when you play these claret and blue clubs, you know, West Ham and Aston Villa, when I was obviously not so much Burnley.
Villa Park, another great ground, yeah.
West Ham and Aston Villa, they have a very bipolar record against Arsenal. Either they beat us when we don't expect it, or we thrash them.
Yeah. Yeah, facts. It is. Anyway, let's get on to it. Let's get on. Everton, we'll quickly touch on Everton. What we thinking here, because this is one of them games where I'm looking at this very similar to the Sunderland away game. I think it's going to be very, very similar. I think we're going to have a lot of possession of the ball, And unless we don't hurt them, I think we could get caught on some set pieces and some, plays. I'm worried about the Everton game. I've got to be honest with you, Jez. What's your feeling on the Everton game?
Well, I think it's going to be quite an interesting day out. Actually, it's a new ground. We've never played there before. It's their ground now. Whether we can actually weather the home crowd, I mean, it's twice the capacity of what it was at Goodison. So it's going to be noisy, it's going to be loud, and that's fair play. But look, they're a difficult team to break down. We haven't done awfully well against Everton recently. So I've predicted a 1-1, DJ. Right? The reason I predicted that is because at the end of the day, looking at recent results, looking at what the team here will put out, I'm worried. So I'm going with the conservative 1-1. I think we'll walk out there with a point, and I'm not happy about that, but I'll take it because at the end of the day, I'm not convinced about this team. I'm not convinced about the manager. You know that. He knows that. The chat knows that. So I'll take a 1-1, walk away, and then we'll have to wait and see what Man City do. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because it's a new ground. I wish I'd go in. I wish I had.
Oh, it's lovely ground, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to go. Unfortunately, that's not possible. But whoever goes there, Arsenal, big up to you, boys. The Arsenal faithful, as I call them, always. It's going to be a good day out, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Facts. Kenny, right on top of Christmas, we're going to have the Carabao Cup in the back of our minds, no doubt. I don't know if they're without Grealish, who's been absolutely brilliant for Everton this season, to be honest. And I said
he seemed all right. He seemed all right. He was doing his Christmas visit in a school in Liverpool.
Yeah, I know. You've got to like Jack Grealish. I don't care what you can't not dislike Jack Grealish, man.
You can't. In fact, the thing with Jack Grealish is that let's just say he's got a style of play that's easy to criticise if it goes wrong. But when it goes right, it's exciting to watch. You know what I mean? I think with Jack Grealish is that if you a player like that, you've got to go to a club that lets you express yourself. I'm not convinced that, when he went to Man City, when you go, look, at the end of the day, football's about glory as well as enjoyment. And he got the glory with all the trophies he's won at Man City. Wherever he's got the enjoyment, it remains to be seen. You know what I mean? All right, Manny. He definitely raised. But I think with the game, as Jez is talking about as well, got to remember we're not playing well.
No,
and
that's a fact, well, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Because we're not playing well. The situation is that even if Everton don't have Ndai and Gay, and they don't have, Dewsbury, all they say is injured. Jack they think is injured as well. Even after all of that, doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to win easily. Because to go to a place like Everton, and to win properly, you've got to take the game away from them early, and you've got to get the ball moving and get them running about. Which they don't want to do. You know what I mean? And you've got to be able to counter-attack their set pieces. If you can't do either, there's going to be a long night in Dickinson Stadium, Bramley Park. That's why I think without Gabriel, Everton will put us on a lot of pressure. Calafiori needs to have a good game, in terms of run with the ball and marking their wingers. Because I think Everton's going to go set piece, FC, direct crosses, especially for for their defenders. So, thing is, Newcastle turn them over quite comfortably. Chelsea, they were pathetic. They weren't great against Chelsea, but under the lights, big game.
Yeah, and Davy Moyes, he's another manager that seems to have this manager's number, doesn't he? With West Ham.
You don't know. If we start slowly, then I'll say draw or loss. we strike fast, we could beat them. But that's contingent on Saka playing well.
Yeah. Are you going for a draw, Kenny?
I'm going for a very stressful 1-0.
Hide behind the sofa. Hide behind the sofa winner. Yeah.
But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if something dodgy happens. Remember the last minute goal from Gray. Gray,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
The Mari Gray.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And again, Everton are one of them teams that we've struggled against over the years. You know, they're in the bracket with Aston Villas and all of that. They're one of them teams that you just don't know. But big up Shane in the chat. Big up everyone in the chat. Make sure that you sub into Jez is Arsenal and following that. That it is in now. And Kenny as well. So we come to the Carabao Cup, Jez. It looked like, the big hitters got the jobs done. Newcastle Fulham was a little bit more of a close affair. I thought it was going to go to penalties. I wanted Fulham to go through there. But Newcastle got the job done. They're drawn against Man City, who are purring at the moment. And we've got Palace to remove. Firstly, are we going to get the job done against Palace? Because I think we're going to see a different Palace team that showed up in the league. Is he going to rotate? And Chelsea in the semi-final if we do get through. What are you saying on that, brother?
Yeah, it's a tough call, mate. I mean, let's be honest. Crystal Palace are they're doing okay. They're doing all right, and they're going to want to add another trophy to their cabinet. That's after get the FA Cup. So fair play to them. So it's a tough ask. If we get past Palace, then we got Chelsea. Well, we didn't do great against Chelsea like a month ago.
And it's 2 legs as well, Kenny. Jez, it's 2 legs as well.
Yes, home and away. So it's a big ask. I think we could beat. I'm not being disrespectful, but I think we could beat Palace if he puts the right team out there. But this is where I question it, DJ. Will he actually bin this or will he actually go for it? Because
it's a tough one, isn't it?
Personally, mate, right? To me, if he puts the right team out, and then we get past Chelsea in the semi-final, get to the final and win, right? Yeah, that I think, in my belief, will give the team a positive to say, actually, we can fucking win.
Yeah.
We can actually win. We can
Gives
win.
him a leg up, doesn't it?
We can win. Yeah, it does give them a leg up. And I think that will kick us on. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you're always negative, Jez. You and Kenny and Lee and DJ and Shane and all that. No, we're not. All we want to see is silverware. Right? That's all we want to see. And I think if Arsenal can get it over the line against Palace, Chelsea, and whoever we get in the final, then I think that gives the team belief. And I think that's the way we should look at it. But, it's going to be a tricky task. Palace, I think we can. I'm positive we'll beat them. I'm going to go 2-0 on that one. Right?
Really? Wow. Yeah. No. Listen, I wish I was as confident as you, Jez, but I'm what I've seen lately and the form we're in lately, I'm not so confident. Kenny, Mateta's, I think he's got 7 goals already. He looks an handful. They're going to come there full of confidence. They're not. This is going to be their trophy that they're going to go for, isn't it? Because let's be honest, they could fall away. They could nick a European place, and all credit to Crystal Palace. Apparently, it could be Glasner's last season because he could be going at the end of the season because he's not quite getting the backing from the board, apparently, and he's not getting the funds and the players he wants. This is a tricky one. So, two-part question. Palace at home, are we going to deal with them? And if we do get through to Chelsea, bearing in mind, I think it's a 2-legged affair with the fixtures upon us and the injuries. What's your whole thing on the Carabao Cup, my friend?
Well, the thing is, Arsenal, those players need medals. They need a bit of glory. You know, it's all well and good saying, "Oh, it's only a small cup." You know, the only teams that got right to say that, or supporters of clubs that got right to say that, are supporters that will win trophies every season. If you win the league every season, and you get in the Champions League, last days of the Champions League on a regular basis, then you've got every right to say that FA Cup's not our priority, or League Cup's not our priority. We haven't won anything in 5 years. We haven't been to. Do you know what? We haven't been to a final since the FA Cup final.
That's mad, isn't it?
No finals since August 2020. So for Arsenal fans to start prioritising the cups is a bit of a joke. You know, I just want to address the Glasner thing as well. And I don't want to disrespect any Palace fan. When I hear Glasner, you know, say he needs assurances, you know, for him to stay, and he won't sign a contract, I smell bullshit. The reason why I smell bullshit is because if he doesn't sign a contract and a big club comes in for him, guess what? No compensation. He can go free. Who's fooling who here? I see you. I see you, Oliver. I see you. These eyes see you. I know your game. I know your MO. Don't give us that BS, because BS, because with respect to Crystal Palace, managers like you use them as a stepping stone, right? For you to say assurances, well, you know that other, you know, there's jobs. You know, you may get the Man United job, you may get a coveted job in Europe, you may even get a Tottenham job, right?
Get the Arsenal one if it don't work out.
Don't play games with me, son, mate. Don't play games with me, my son. Saying, I'll find out assurances. Don't kid a kidder, all right?
Exactly.
Don't take piss at those fans who worship you for winning a trophy by saying, I want assurances. No, you don't want anyone to pay compensation, son, for you to go elsewhere. Remember, I'm watching you, son.
Yeah,
but talking about Crystal Palace should be kicking themselves because they didn't make a fist of it when they came to the Emirates Stadium. I think what's happening there, I think they've got a game today, haven't they? Is it the Europa Cup?
Yeah, they're in the conference at night today.
I've got a conference game. I don't know. Yeah, they've got a conference game, so they're not going to go strong because I think they could go in. They'll be looking to probably, I said, win with their second string. Leeds, they're away, aren't they? I think what's happening is that I think they'll go big for the games against us and Tottenham. They'll go strong against us at the Emirates, and they've got Spurs. And was it 27th? So they'll go strong against them. So if I get my crystal ball out, we probably will go strong as well. Because
do you think we will? Do you think he'll rotate in that game? Do you think think
about it. White's injured, so he can't play at right back, can he?
Yeah. No, I mean,
so
do you think
right back?
Ranieri will come in? Do you think Ranieri will come in? Do you think Madueke will start?
Could do. Yeah, Dave. What if the manager says Odegaard needs minutes? Where's that leave Ranieri?
Again, yeah. What about Norgard?
What he says that Eze needs to play well against his old club. Where's that leave Ranieri? Because Eze's not exactly, Eze's still got a lot to do to get into that think tank and that circle trust. So, Gyökeres, you'll think Gyökeres will play, but I don't think he will. I think he'll think, you know what, let's give Jesus a little run out like he did last year.
I think Jesus will start against Everton, personally.
Yeah.
If he don't start Everton, he start against Crystal Palace. So it'd be like Martinelli would definitely start. I think Madueke, you're right, will start on the right hand side. It'll be a strong team, but I think Crystal Palace will go strong because they'll be absolutely fools not to. Because this is a good opportunity.
This is an opportunity, isn't it? This is a massive scalp if they win.
If this was a league game, 100%, we'll think we'll go strong and we'll see them off. But in a cup, when people smell Wembley, because when you get to the semi-finals, you can smell.
I've been there recently.
You can smell Wembley Park. You can smell like the dirty, sweaty trains and sweaty tubes.
And the people full well
especially when you get the quarter final, they're going to go strong. Anything can happen in the cup.
Yeah.
Look, do you remember Watford,
Oh,
2016?
Yeah.
When they beat us.
Are you worried then, Kenny? Do you think this is a banana skin for us?
Of course, it's a banana skin because they're a good side now. They're a very good side. You know, they bought well. They got goals. They got pace in that team. You know what I mean? And they won't make the mistake. Remember, they weren't exactly hanging on when we played them at the Emirates. In fact, they were so unambitious. It was a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. So, what does he do in the semi-final then, Jez? Does he go all guns blazing with his best team? Do you think do you think it will be his league team, if you like? Zubimendi, Rice, Saka on the right. If we say we've done Palace, we get through to Palace. We've got Chelsea in the semi-final. It's coming up. Does he stick to his principles and rotate, or does he go massive and strong and try and get the job done? Because we all see what happened against Newcastle last season. I mean, it was an absolute joke over 2 legs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a joke, man. No, he's got to go strong, man. Look. When you get to a semi-final, right, over 2 legs, you've got to go strong. Like you've got to put your marker down and say, right, we're in this to win it, and that's the only way you can do it, my friend. Because there's no point in piss arsing about. There's no when you're in it to actually win a bit of silverware. Then you got to say, here we go. We are Arsenal. We've come here. We're going to take you down, as we've done in years gone past. So, yeah, he's got to go big. Don't ponce about. Just go in and say, right, Chelsea. I mean, we've got to get past Palace, of course. But, just if we do get to Chelsea, we just got to say, here we are, boys. Come and take us down. And we are here to take you down. That's the only way to look at it.
Kenny, my biggest worry about Chelsea is no matter who comes in that Chelsea team or who they sign, just over recent years, it's in their DNA to win cups, isn't it? And if anyone can scam a cup and win a cup, it's Chelsea. I think this is the worst draw we could have got, personally.
Well, definitely. Mind you, 8 years ago, we got Chelsea in the semi-final. We drew it 0-0 at the Bridge. Second leg, a week later, we won 2-1. Xhaka got the winner. So it can be done. But mind you, we might as well not got there, because when we turned up the final, we got absolutely mullered by Man City. And they did break sweat as well. It got so embarrassing. That was an embarrassing final. So you never know. It could be like, it could be repeat. It could be repeat if we get Man City in the final, or revenge. Either way, we have to beat Palace first. To talk about Chelsea is basically like going into sort of your Walter Mitty kind of mould. Beat Palace first, because there's nothing worse nothing that's going to motivate Palace, to play their best football if they see people like us thinking, talking about the semi-final.
Yeah. No, exactly. And Palace will want to taste of Chelsea, won't it? Because I think Palace haven't got a bad record against Chelsea. I think they always give them a good game. And again, it's
good thing as well is that, remember, let's not forget, Chelsea got a fortuitous point against Palace in the first game of the season when Eze's free kick was disallowed for reasons only VAR know about.
That was a perfect goal, wasn't it? That was an absolute perfect goal.
You thought so, yeah.
Absolute perfect goal. Before we round off, it's been a cracking show, guys. I mean, we've covered everything. I mean, it's been absolute brilliant. Before we round off, we can't go without mentioning Havertz, can we? Because we know he's looming. Apparently, he's returned sort of round about mid-January and everything else. Jez, I've got my opinions. I think he's going to be the number one striker for this manager. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's not sort of, up and running by the end of January, February time. But what's your opinion on the Havertz? Do you think we've got to stick with Gyökeres? Because, listen, we bought a number 9, missing jigsaw. This is what we needed. Was it what we needed, or was it it might be what we needed. Was it what Arteta needed? What's your views on Havertz, mate?
That's a very good point, mate. Very good point. I think there's two parts to this. Look, let's put it right. It's quite clear to me that Gyökeres isn't getting the supply that he should get, and I put that fully down to the manager, the tactics. Right, this guy. Look, let's put it right. Gyökeres is a proven goal scorer, right? It was obviously Berta bought him, and I think this is Arteta being petulant in saying, "Well, actually, I don't want you, and I don't want you in my team, but I'm putting you in the team because that's all I've got at the moment." So now we're looking at the face of Jesus and Havertz coming back in, and we know what's going to happen here. We know what's going to happen. It's going to be Havertz will be number one, right? He'll come in because Arteta likes him. Arteta, along with Edu, bought the bloke from fucking Chelsea.
That no one wanted, Jez.
That nobody wanted, exactly. And now we're going to be faced with this scrub of a player that I once said, and I'll put my hands up and said, Kenny, you know, I actually did say, I think there's a player in there somewhere. Well, I've been proved wrong. The guy's not the levels, right? And yet we've got this player, Gyökeres, who can score goals, proven to score goals, and yet people say, "Oh, but it's not in the Premier League." Well, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. When we got Henry, right? When he first joined us, he wasn't an out and out. He didn't rip it up.
No.
It wasn't until Wenger stuck him out on the left wing and changed his gameplay that all of a sudden we saw what Henry was really about. Now, that took time. Now, the fact is, right, we have a player that can score goals, but he's not getting the service. And I think it's actually, when you look at how Matty broke it all down the other day when he did his stream, it's quite obvious players don't pass to him. Why? Probably because in my belief, it's Arteta's tactic. I didn't want you as a player. I don't want you now, and so I'm going to kick you out of the side in a way, like he did with Aubameyang, like he did Ozil the scrub. I never liked Ozil anyway, but we know what's going to happen here. DJ, it's going to be Havertz straight back in the squad, like Odegaard's coming straight back in, absolutely ruined the team. When he was out of the team, we were a far better team. He's now back in, and we're looking shit. I'll leave it
there. Yeah, Kenny. I mean, listen. You said about Sesko. You was adamant that Sesko would have been the better fit for Arsenal because he was very similar to how we set up and how we play. Is that how he sees Havertz? As he's like go-to Sesko?
So Havertz is definitely one of the people. I think what's happening is I said last season he's tactically disruptive, but Clive Palmer, Uncle Clive, said he's tactically important. Yeah, he's tactically important to Mikel. I think when you watch the way Mikel, wants us to play, he will always find a place for Kai Havertz, either from the start or definitely off the bench. There's certain, because I think he feels he can play a 4-4-2 if he's struggling for a goal. He can get him into midfield if he wants to sort of get men behind the ball. He sees him as technically flexible. He sees him having that sort of brain where he like I say, he listens to and fulfills instructions. That's just fact. He's not. We want to see panache. We want to see excitement. We want to see goals. But with Kai, what we've seen in the last 2 years is a player that Mikel completely needs and wants.
No,
he had that thing about Zubimendi as well, and he probably had that about Šeško as well, where he wants players who he thinks are tactically flexible to him. I never got that impression with. I don't get that impression with Eze and Gyökeres. I really don't.
No, and this is the problem, though, isn't it? Because I think the big thing will be this week, because if Jesus starts up front this week, then that might tell you everything you need to know. That's going to it's going to be a big test, isn't it? Because as I said, if he starts this week, then that tells you everything you need to know what he thinks of Gyökeres and whether Gyökeres has got a future at the club. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, the Carabao Cup and everything else. It's going to be really, really interesting, people. And only time will tell. But a big festive season coming up. I think we've got to take near on maximum points if we're going to win this league over the festive period. I think we've got to start with Everton and we've got to take maximum points. I think if we draw 2, I think even draws are going to be damaging for this season because...
Well, we've got 3 home games in a row, mate, after Everton. 3 games in a row, home games in a row.
Yeah. Got to take maximum. Got to beat Villa. Got to beat Brighton. It's
obviously got Palace in the Cup. That's at home as well.
Yeah. This is what I mean. So, yeah. But Jez, thank you very much for joining me, mate. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Always, man.
Yeah, no, it's been a good stream. Really loved it. I won't keep you much longer. I know Kenny likes his Thursday evenings. Jezza, what you got coming up, my friend?
I haven't actually. Did a stream last night, and I'll be on with Shano 7:30 a little bit later.
Oh, nice.
It's all good. It's all good. And then watch the game on Saturday, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, and then the home run for Christmas. Yeah, Jez is Arsenal. Make sure you sub into Jez and go and follow Shane as well. He does the Bruised Banana later on, as you're fully all aware. Great show and his breakfast. So yeah, make sure you go over to Shane as well at 7:30. Kenny, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Where can we find you?
Well, like I said, I'm having a free life. I've got nothing, no podcasts. Yeah, probably until I've got no podcast till probably do my fan cam after the Everton game. So that's about right. But obviously, I'm watching the Ashes. I'm suffering like all English cricket fans.
Honestly, the cricket has done me in again.
It's you build yourself up, you wake up, and then you see
I really
flowing. You know what I mean? And that's
Kenny. The batting's been terrible, hasn't it? I mean, come on, man. Look at
Archer's the only one to turn up with the ball, and the only ones to turn up with the bat is Ben Stokes. You can't just rely on your captain. But
can't win
obviously,
can you?
Something's happened in the early hours of Saturday morning in Miami. Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. So I suppose I'll watch a bit of that. As I said, Anthony Joshua's got to knock him out pretty quickly to have any sort of credibility with me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, facts, man. I mean, right. I think, the cricket's been, honestly, it's been absolutely horrendous, guys. It really has. I mean, Kenny, I know Jez has tapped out at this point.
No, I haven't actually. No,
sure, all right, mate. But Kenny, why are we going for shots in the cricket when
I actually like the Ashes. I like the Ashes.
Good stuff.
Now, what's pissed me off? What's really pissed me off is the fact that it's on TNT Sport and people have to subscribe to that and pay 30-odd quid a month when it should be on BBC One. Right? Yeah,
it should be. I think, Sky as well. Sky. But in fact, a lot of people complain about the coverage from TNT. But I always say to themselves, well, don't have a go at TNT. Have a go. What if Sky are as committed to cricket as they say they are? They I think where Sky have gone wrong is that because they spent so much money on the 100.
It should be BBC One, mate.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that the BBC have let us down a lot of times. Until we have a dedicated sports channel where there's a massive budget, where we can have BBC version where we say, like, say BBC Three, it's just dedicated sports, like Sky Sports, then they can probably bid for the cricket and bid for these things. But until then, it's not going to happen. Sometimes I'm just glad we still got the World Cup and the Olympics.
Oh God,
And
can you imagine?
Imagine if it goes on the paywall.
The thing is, like, what bloke up the road from me, right? Lovely old fella, right? He's in his 90s. We take roast dinners up to him on a Sunday, right? He's a proper nice old geezer, and he's a massive, massive cricket fan.
That's right. Yeah.
And I said to him, you watching the cricket? And he said, no. And I said, why not? He said, because I can't afford to subscribe to this new channel. I don't know what it's about. And I said, well, look, I can sort it out for you. I can set you up. I can set you up and do it. And he said, no, I can't afford it. Now he can. I know he fucking can. He's got loads of money.
Yeah.
He's just a tight old fucker. But at the end of the day, he's a nice old geezer. He's in his 90s. And I said, well, it's a disgrace, isn't it? I mean, look, I'm not a massive cricket fan, but I do like watching the Ashes. But I refuse to sign up to TNT to watch it. I think it's a disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace, man.
Yeah, it is.
It says a lot that, you know, like all these things that, you know, you would have thought cricket was the Ashes of crown jewels, but, you know, to watch the cricket, any sort of cricket in this country, especially live, you've got to go behind a paywall. I think it's just, but at the end of the day, I would say one thing, right? The players only care what goes in their pocket, because they've been getting a lot of money because we now subscribe, and, you know, like the subscription channels have got big pockets. They don't care whether we get to watch it on terrestrial TV or not, because they've got more money in their pockets.
Exactly. There's one in the chat, guys. We always get one, don't we? But I've got to highlight this because it's embarrassing for the guy, really. I mean, the thing is with us, right? We're old enough and wise enough, and we've been to enough games, and we've watched Arsenal long enough, and football, not just Arsenal, to just sort of ignore this. So this is the sort of guy. These are the sort of people that it says, here he is, Kenny. Kenny, stick to cricket because you know nothing about Arsenal football. Now,
you know what?
Hang on. Before you come in, I don't know. You can go to any stream, any channel, whether they've got 1,000 subscribers, 150,000, 300,000 subscribers, any chat, everyone more or less knows Kenny Ken. And if you know Kenny Ken, you do not question him about his knowledge on Arsenal, because he will knock spots off of me, and I've been going long enough, and anyone else.
Yeah,
so
you know this guy, right? There's a prat. There's a few prats who got in for me. There's a guy called Daniel Nichols, 9080. He ain't got.
Is it jealousy, Kenny? Do you reckon?
It's not to do with that. It's because of simple reasons that I say I refuse to compromise my views, and I'm not desperate to be loved by people like him. And the worst thing about it is that there is one prat that I know. He actually supports Tottenham. He could be, for I said, that he could be Mark Rose, an Arsenal fan, because I've blocked his number because he's a prat. And we used to get on quite well, but he's a prat. And I actually saw the prat a few weeks back. But I just said it was a yes, no, and that was about it. But yeah, it could be him. But either way, I always say to people like that, the minute I stop doing podcasts is because I can't do it physically. I'll never stop doing podcasts because of you. You guys, no way.
No, exactly, mate.
I'm going to say yes. I'm not. These idiots don't control me. Because unlike a lot of people, content creators, I think a lot of content creators, some people are so desperate to be liked that
they try and control you.
They either change their views or try to tone it down, or they won't have certain guests because if they see a certain guest getting absolutely mullered, that guy don't get on their channel no more because you don't want to upset your guests. And I know one guy definitely did it because I didn't get all some of the guests. He's never had me on his channel since then. And you know what I mean? Because he was scared I'd alienate his guests. Because I said, "Oh, we love your content, but we don't like him."
Oh, I see.
Are
you bothered though, Kenny? Because that wouldn't bother me. But
I thought, you know what? Off you go, mate. In the bin. Do what you got to do. He's a nice enough guy, but if he asked me to go to this podcast again, I say, no thanks. You don't do me like that and expect me to go on again. I don't need to do podcast. I do podcasts with people I like and people I respect. If I don't like and respect you, then I'll make excuses because I want to enjoy myself on the podcast. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you do, mate. You do, and you're a pleasure to everyone's channel. And Jez, before I bring you in on it, because we always get one in, don't we? Big up to my friend, big up AJT 21 Gunner. Thank you very much. Gen Z, not respecting elders, get used to it, family. Yeah, it's facts. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad, isn't it? It's sad. But Jez, I mean, the guy there.
You know what?
The guy there. Go on, mate.
You know, these Gen Z people, they're the same people that instead of sorting it out, they're the same people. And I'm not talking about, you know, people in general, but when I see Gen Z, I see a prat that if he gets an argument with someone, he'll pick a weapon up because he can't lose face. I mean, you see some of these idiots, they're like matchstick men, but they can't lose face, so they pick a weapon up. And that's why we have this sort of nonsense where people their age are getting involved, or families are getting destroyed because people can't lose face. Because little prats expect people 40 years older than them, or even 20 years old, and respect them. You know, and it's got really silly now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Gen Z, they do better.
It's crazy, and that's why I had to highlight it before we wrapped up, because he's made himself look an idiot, the guy. And Jez, if there's one man, if there's one man in this stream world that we live in, mate, Kenny's got to be one of the most nicest, knowledgeable guys I've ever met on here. I don't know about what you're saying, Jez.
Oh, come on, man.
It speaks for itself, doesn't it?
What Kenny Ken don't know about Arsenal and what he don't know about fucking football, then I'm older than Kenny, but I sit back and I show respect.
Exactly, you have to let it
him, because I think fucking fair play, son. You know, I know a lot about Arsenal Football Club, right? And Kenny knows a lot about Arsenal Football Club, but when it comes to general football, I shut up. I just go,
yeah. This is what I mean. That's why I highlighted it, because I think he's just made himself look an idiot. I mean, he's come on here with us three old uns here. That's been between us. We've got hundreds of years going for Arsenal Football Club and players and matches and results and everything. So I don't worry about it. I just let it all go over my head.
Yeah, but some people want to get their kicks. Is that how you get your kicks?
Yeah.
You know
Big up, Jam Boy. Big up, Jam Boy. Big up, my friend. Right, when we finish over here, we're going over to Lee. I think he's doing a live watch along, so we will raid over to Lee if you fancy going over to Lee, and because his watch alongs are really, really good, because he watches along and he talks about everything as well. So it's worth a go. It's worth a go. But Jez, thank you very much as always. It's been a brilliant stream. Kenny, love to you, my friend. Love to you both. And the chat, thank you very much. Just do me one favour on your way out. Make sure that you sub to all of us if you haven't. And if you haven't smashed the like, then just smash a like on it on your way out as well. It does help the channels like mine and everything. So much appreciated. If you're not around much now, Merry Christmas to everyone. If you follow Christmas, if you don't, happy holidays. Enjoy the time off anyway. So big up to everyone. 80 likes. Well done, Jam Boy. Thank you very much indeed. And on that note, fellas, we are out of here. So big up to everyone and see you all soon. Thank you very much.